Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Denali and I am a full-time reseller on eBay and Poshmark. My store and closet name is DUCHO, ELDUCHO, and you can find me on Instagram as DUCHO Thrift. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you would like to be, hit the button down below, and if you enjoy this video, give me a thumbs up on your way out today. Just a quick note before we get started, today's video is being sponsored by Skillshare. I am so excited to have them back as a sponsor on my channel. So if you're not familiar with Skillshare, it is an online learning platform that offers thousands of classes for curious and creative people on topics like photography, design, and freelancing. Skillshare classes include a combination of videos and class projects, and you can attend them on your own time, which is really great in my opinion. Members get unlimited access, and most of the classes are actually less than an hour long. If you have a short attention span like me, that is super helpful. I recently used Skillshare for my business when I was hiring a new employee. I had questions about payroll, and so I found that they had a class on payroll, which was great. So the class was informative, it was concise, I got all of my questions answered, and I got to do it on my own time, which is like so nice when you are a solopreneur. The next class I'm actually interested in taking is on TikTok for business and how to basically sell and market your brand on that platform. I like to stay up to date on social selling and different ways that I can be gaining new customers and selling to new people. And so I think that that's going to be a really fun one to take. Skillshare is curated specifically for learning, meaning that there are no ads and they're always launching new premium classes, which is great. They've always got new content, and you can stay focused, no ads interrupting all the time. You don't know anything about that, right? And it's less than $10 a month with an annual subscription, so that's great as well. So if you're interested in trying Skillshare, the first 1,000 people to sign up using my link in the description down below will get a 2-month premium subscription to Skillshare, which is great. So check that out. I will have that in the description for you. All right, so let's jump into the video. So this video is just a little bit of a life update. I wanted to talk to you guys about what has been going on with my business. I know that I've been a little bit MIA from YouTube. I've just been really busy. That's just the long and short of it, basically. I wrote down some notes here, so if I'm looking away from the screen, that's what I'm focusing on because I want to make sure I kind of touch on everything. So let's just recap on the past few months: March, April, May. We're now in June of 2020 in case you're watching this in the future. So in March, you may have seen the video that I posted where I gave up my office space to move my business back home because I felt like at that time, because of quarantine and shelter in place, that it was just the right business decision, which I believe it was. I did save money during that time, and I got to reevaluate and not change course, but just shift a little bit. I don't want to use the word pivot because I think it's an annoying word. So I shifted my business a little bit. Since all the stores around me were closed, much like a lot of people, I had to go online to source inventory. And so I started getting liquidation. And that was a big game changer for my business. I made a video on liquidation. So if you're curious and you have questions about that, check out that video. But, while liquidation is a big investment, it was great because I was at home and I had nothing but time to process inventory. Well, it ended up being a good decision for my business, and it allowed me to come back to the building that I was in and get an office space again, except this time I was able to get a larger space, which was great because I had pretty much outgrown my last space the day I moved into it. My last office space was, I think, 230 square feet, and my new office space is 430 square feet. So not quite double, but almost double the size, and it feels double the size. I feel like I actually have room in there, even though I am already like filling it up with a bunch of stuff. So I moved into my new office pretty much at the end of May, beginning of June. So it's almost been a month now, which sounds kind of crazy to say because I feel like so much has happened in that time. But yeah, so I'm in a bigger office space. It's actually just a couple doors down from my last office. So I get to walk past my old office all the time and wonder who's in that spot. But I continued and have been continuing to order liquidation for my business. I'm ordering clothing. I have not ordered shoes or accessories or anything like that. And there's lots of different types of liquidation you can order. There's electronics, so many different items. I'm just ordering women's clothing because that is something I'm comfortable with. So I continued to do that, but I knew that the next step after getting my office space would be to hire an employee. So like I said, I was setting up payroll. You maybe wondered where that was going. I have since hired somebody. So let's talk about what that process looked like. I knew even in my original office space that I wanted to hire somebody at some point, but I kept waiting for the right moment. Like, I'm not sure what that right moment would have been other than just feeling like I had my stuff together, which I don't think I'll ever feel like I have my stuff together. And so when I was able to kind of admit that to myself, like, Denali, like, no pile is ever going to be perfect. You're not going to have all of this stuff sorted out. Then I just pushed myself to place an ad online that I was looking to hire somebody, and I did. And I did get some responses back. The first person that I actually set up an interview with is the person that I hired, and she is awesome. I'm really enjoying working with her. She's been a fast learner. The training process, is not too in-depth. It's, what I'm having her do right now is photograph and the inventory for me. And I'm gonna teach her other stuff as well, but I'm kind of trying to take it like one thing at a time, like let's get used to something and comfortable with it. But she's doing great. She's picking up things really quickly, and it's just more of the nuances, like how I choose to do this and how I choose to do that. So, any questions that she has for me, I'm more than happy to answer because I want things to go well. So, I will say, with the office space, to kind of go back for a second, one question you might have is, did I look at other office spaces when I was considering going back? And the answer to that is yes. So I did look at other office spaces. However, one of the luxuries of the building that I was in is that it's month to month. And that was a huge benefit for my business. In March, when things started to slow down, was the ability to be like, you know what, this isn't working and I'm gonna move out. And so that was something that was really appealing in going back to that building, because when I was talking to landlords of other properties that I was interested in, they're looking for somebody to sign 3 and 5 year leases. They will do 1 year leases. However, the cost of a 1 year lease is significantly more. It gets progressively a little bit cheaper for 3 and 5 year, but even the 3 and 5 year prices that I was looking at were actually still not as good of a deal as the deal I got, or I feel like I got. So there's that. So yes, it's something I took into consideration, and I think I just have a good situation. It's just the bottom line. The only thing I could gripe about is just having the office a little bit closer to my house, but to be honest, it's not that far. I would love for it to be, next door to my house or something, but it's a healthy distance. So that's the good news. So the employee, that has been a big game changer for me. It has already allowed me to address things in my business that I was not addressing. And that's been a big factor in why I wanted to hire somebody, is that I needed to be able to step back and focus on not just the photographing and inventorying and listing of items, because that's the stuff that pays the bills. And so in my opinion, those things are the most important. However, there are other things on the back end that are equally as important. They don't immediately pay the bills, but long-term they're helpful. But I just wasn't having the ability to address those because I was so knee-deep in doing the day-to-day work. So I've been able to step back in that way. If you've been watching my videos for a period of time, you do know that I have a virtual assistant, which, if you're curious, I do have a video on virtual assistants, so check that out if you have questions. But you might be wondering, well, do you still have your virtual assistant, Denali? And the answer is yes. So I technically have 2 employees, but one is, not in this country. But she's awesome and I love her. And the partnership that we have worked out works really well between the 2 of us. She builds listings for me, which is incredibly helpful. It is something small that I can take off my plate and, have listings done for me. I still go in and I still do pricing for my items, but to be able to have somebody build up drafts for me has been incredibly helpful. The factors for me when hiring for somebody to be in-house for me, I'm just looking for somebody who's excited to work. That's really important. I think attitude is like the most important thing because you can't really train for that. Anything else, I think, and if you're a reseller, you'll agree with me, anything else is trainable, right? Taking photographs, measuring items, telling people what garments are or what brands are, all of that can be trained. But the most important thing for me was somebody who had a great attitude. I definitely feel like I lucked out. The person I hired is super awesome. I don't know if she watches my YouTube channel now, but if she does, hi, hello. And like I said, the training has been pretty easy because it's just, point and shoot the camera and just the small nuances of the business. In terms of moving my business forward, what does it look like? Am I going to continue to do liquidation or thrift? So my state is now my county is now in phase 2, which means some thrift stores have started to open. I did make a video, again, referencing videos that I've done, where I went thrifting, and you can check that out if you'd like. I'll put a link here somewhere. So check that video out. My Goodwill outlet has not opened yet. And although I had shifted my business model at the beginning of the year and went from a bins only, Goodwill outlet bins only, to the thrift stores, I actually now am going to shift my business back, I believe, to going back to the Goodwill outlet only. And one of the reasons for that is that when March hit and business really slowed down, since I had been focusing my business on sourcing from thrift stores so heavily, I felt like I was sitting on a higher cost of goods than I was comfortable with. When you shop at the Goodwill outlet, you're paying sometimes $1 or less for the items that you're thrifting. And once I started going to thrift stores, I was paying between $6 and $8, which is just higher than what I want to be sitting on, God forbid there's like another pandemic or something. There's not going to be one, but you know what I'm saying? It's just like, I didn't feel comfortable in that way. So my Goodwill outlets are not open. I hope they open soon. Don't know when that will be. My county has been a county in the country that has been affected greatly. And so it still could be a while. So liquidation is still something that I do see in my future. In some capacity, it is just nice having inventory delivered to me. The element of surprise is fun and then not always fun, but that's just a conversation for another day. Oh wait, I made a video on that, so check that out. And then I guess that kind of ties into the trajectory of my business. Where do I see it going? I think it's hard to say because we're in a new normal right now. My bins haven't opened. I don't know what that's going to look like. I don't know what that inventory will look like. So to be honest, I'm taking it day by day. I'm just doing the best that I can do at this point. And I feel like that's the thing I have the most control over, is just putting my head down and doing the work. And yeah. One thing I will say is that I want to be, look at how long my hair is, moving my inventory a little bit quicker. So, sorry, moving stuff, if it's not selling, now that I have the time to focus on going back and addressing older inventory, I do want to be going back and pulling items to send to online consignment stores or local consignment stores. I do want to be churning through inventory a little bit quicker and not sitting on stuff so long. So that is something that I am actively thinking about. And then another thing that I'm actively thinking about is, like, at some point, would I need to hire another employee? I don't know. I don't think I'm there yet, but it is something that I'm thinking about, and I guess in that same breath, would it involve having a larger office space? All bigger questions than what I'm wanting to address in this moment. again, just taking things day by day. So that is my little life business update for you guys. I'm sorry that I haven't been posting videos as much. It's not for lack of wanting to. I definitely want to be creating content because I enjoy interacting with all of you so much. It's just I've been busy. That's just the hard truth of it. So I hope you all are doing well. Let me know if your thrift stores are open and how it's been going for you, or just how June has been going for you. How's life been going for you if you haven't been reselling as much? I just wanted to check in with everyone and see how they were. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. As you can tell, it's dusk here, so I hope you're having a wonderful evening if you're watching this in the evening. But I will talk with you all soon. Bye.